Hello guys, welcome to the Magic Inside podcast. With us we have Mário Daniel, it's a big friend of ours. We know Mário for many years now. You had 47 episodes of Magic Minutes, which was aired on Prime TV in SIC. Then you also had your Out of This World show, which combines theater, comedy and a lot of magic, which is something that I don't think has been done before, which is something that we are going to speak a lot about. You also did a commercial for Coca-Cola, Lego, and now you have your own stage show, Magic Minutes, that you transposed from TV to the stage. Before we start, do you know when it was the first contact that we had? No.
Where we met for the first time?
No, the first time I sent you an email. Yes, I mean, I was like probably 9 or 10,
really?
You know, and you did coin transposition on TV.
Whoa.
Which was amazing. I thought it was with a shell, but I was not sure because, you know, then I sent you an email.
In which kind of TV show, remember?
I think...
in my TV show? No,
no.
Of course not.
No, you went there like for 5 minutes and you did like this coin trick with a camera from the top. I was blown away, you know, because it was really magical. And then I emailed you and you told me a little bit about it,
really?
Which was very kind
of you. So I was nice with you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cool.
Very, very nice.
You were lucky.
Yes.
I'm joking. Usually I answer. Yeah. So.
Do you receive nowadays that kind of emails?
Yeah. During the when we are on TV, when I was doing my seasons on TV, it's unbelievable. So it's thousands of messages. After each show, I had more than 2,000 messages. So most of them I could not even look for it. Sometimes if these people try again to come in contact, I probably will see and then I answer. But when I
mostly
get
on the social media,
yeah, of course,
Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook.
Back then, because I started doing my seasons, and I did 2010, 2012, 2016, and 2018. So this was the timings. And back then, before 2018, especially, Facebook was the that's why I have a lot of fans in Facebook, and on Instagram I'm not so strong, but it's also because I don't like the idea to work every day for the
social media.
For the social media.
Yeah. But one question, you also, and perhaps you can talk about this a little bit, you also received a lot of hate mail well?
Not, I don't think.
Not really?
Not even one, I think. I can't assure you this, but it's really... My show, maybe because it was friendly and you know, and because it was really friendly, as you can see.
Or is this something from nowadays?
I think probably also because of that. But I remember, for example, some negative things like when the show was announced, people starting to say, well, now in prime time, magic, why? And saying bad things about it. But then they don't come out saying anything because the show was really... Actually, we received for twice the best TV show for... there was like a competition that was voted by the audience. And for twice we won it. One of them, it was like 4 shows were in the could win the prize. I always say when you have 4 nominees, and one of the times we won with like 56%. So we have in total more than the others altogether.
Magic works. Right?
Magic works on TV, and people don't know that.
Especially.
Yes. It works. It works a lot. Actually, live it works even better. You know that you are a magician. So. But on TV was hard to start, and we can talk about that if you want. It was really hard to make them believe that magic could work. But we prove it, and then after the first season, they immediately wanted the second. So we stopped a few from 2010 to 2012 because in 2011 we were filming, basically. So then we stopped because it's too hard to do so many different tricks. Almost, I would say, like 350 tricks, different things.
Course.
Ideas. If you had to choose, would you prefer to do TV magic or live shows? If you had to choose one,
for sure, I prefer to do live shows
Yes.
for sure, because
Why?
I can feel I can feel everything is in control, because I can have every detail prepared. And on TV, you always feel something like you are not on top of it every time, because you need to film, you need to shoot more stuff. So sometimes you have a very good idea the night before, and sometimes you try to put it there, but it's not right yet. Or sometimes you don't put it there and you feel sorry because, oh, this should happen like this, and it happened like that. So I have many things that now I would love to repeat my seasons, for example, in a different country, or just do it again in Portugal. I'm not sure, just to do it in a better way.
Different challenge.
The same things, but now working on top of that,
course.
and trying to have much more impact. But it is what it is. It's hard to work on TV. That's why I always say people that if you love it on TV, go to see a live show and you'll see what is the real feeling.
Also for the people that are watching us at home and don't really know what this TV show was about, can you explain us a little bit in detail? So it was street magic.
Yeah, I can. I think there's some.
Not only that. I
think it was street magic, but we visit the country. So every show was done in a different city. So we have also this cultural part. Of course, this was inspired by David Blaine things, and I start since then actually trying to do something for TV with this kind of content. The different thing was my approach. My approach was pretty for many different reasons, and I love David Blaine's approach. I just think it's David Blaine's. It's his personality, it's his charisma. So what I like to do, it's more family friendly. I think it's much more like Justin Willman did after, for example. It's more this kind of magic the way I think you can agree with this, no? You remember my format in terms of way.
Although Justin Willman's show was more like to a younger demographics, I believe. Not children, but yours was more family-like.
Family friendly, yeah.
And Justin Willman's was more like to a younger demographics because of the different bits that he had in the
speech as well.
Yeah, the speech.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
I think
different approaches. So.
And actually, some things that he put on his show, we did things that were similar before, or I don't know, but I'm sure it's just two people getting to the same ideas. For example, when I wanted to catch the bullet catch trick, I didn't want to do it with a real bullet, because I feel it's for example it's too much to be believed. David Blaine did the right way, did it for real, so that's unbelievable. Once more, and what I did it with a paintball playing gun. So and Justin Willman also did it in a different context, different way, but they also play with this because it's more logic. So in my thing, the bullet was signed, the paint bullet, and I would grab it and show it, and it's the signed bullet in my hand. So I think it's enough to prove something quick and fast and with a gun.
The concept is the same, except
but I think it's more tangible, it's more real in some way, it's more possible. So I believe people can believe it more than if you use a real bullet and you catch it with your mouth or with your, So that's my approach, but it depends of many things.
Of course. Your Doubt of This World show is a really amazing show because it combines theater, it combines comedy and a lot of magic. It's one of the most original magic shows. How did you came up with the story, or not the story as well? Because you can speak a little bit about it because it has a history. What was your idea when you came up with this show? Because it's so different than everything you have seen.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think so. Actually, I have a second show now, a big show, and it's like a more a magician show. But I still think my work of art, it was this show. In Portuguese, it's called Fora do Baralho. That it's translated. If I translate it, it's like out of the deck. That it's like a Portuguese expression for something that it's out of your mind, different, original, some way. So, and the idea was, so it's a story, like you said, it's about a magician that is trying to create something new show. He's like obsessed, but with him there are two different characters: the girl that cleans up the place and wants to be his assistant, but the magician doesn't know that, is not aware of that. But there is also Mr. Wright, that is the guy that is like the handcraft,
builder.
the builder,
Yes.
the
manufacturer.
the carpenter, the builder,
yeah.
that is making this older person that is creating these elements for the magician, this allows a lot of things, and with this it comes the reason why I create this and where it comes from.
Yeah, how you came up with the idea for the show?
Yes, the thing was, I never enjoyed the idea of an assistant coming on the stage and go inside the box. No, it doesn't matter how she's dressed or not. It doesn't make sense for me, this use of a person.
For you, is magic without meaning, basically.
Exactly, magic without meaning for me. So I wanted to use this girl, and before that show, I started to play with a girl that was like a woman that cleans the place where I was performing, and so I start a small conflict with her. She wanted me to go away to finish my show because she wanted to go home and see their soap opera. So there was this kind of jokes before this show, like 5 years before, So when I start on TV and I had a big crowd now that was interested in seeing me in theaters in Portugal, and I start to think which kind of show I'm going to create, and I didn't want something people. Because of the show was street magic, people were thinking probably they go to the theater to see card tricks or things like that. Actually, many people send me emails saying, but can I see from the last row, can I see the elements you are going to use on the show or things like that? So when they arrive in the theater and they see that huge scenario, because it's an amazing scenario, you can
yes,
use
people are seeing now.
pictures.
Yeah.
It's so that's where it comes from. So I need some logic to the elements. I still want to do some illusions, but I want them to make sense. So I think these characters. So I invite people from the world of theater. So I invite a person to help us. That she was a encenadora. I don't know how we say in English. Director, yeah, it can be. She was a theater director, and we start immediately to work on this. So we have this idea of a workshop, and then Tiago, that is a guy that also studied for sets in television and theater.
You also designed it?
He designed it first. I couldn't believe when he designed it for the first time. I couldn't believe that was possible to make it happen, But it was a big
huge.
investment.
It's beautiful. It's huge. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you. And every time I show it to any magician, they get whoa. They say it's amazing, of course. And we needed 2 days just to put everything together in each show. So we go to a different city. If we are just going to do one show on a theater, we need 2 days, 9 people
to set up.
And
it's amazing.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but I think it paid off. It paid off for many reasons, and I think people start to respect and see magic with different eyes when they see this. So I'm very proud of this project. Yeah,
it's very nice.
I want to come back with this project again, and if actually we are here speaking for many magicians, and I would say that if any one of you want to see it more, go to my website and see what I'm talking about. And if you are interested, and if you feel this is right for you, let me know, because I think this show shouldn't be finished here in Portugal.
Time.
No, it's not promotion time. It's not promotion time. Actually, I think this show needs to fly. I'm trying some contacts now, but I think it's.
I agree. Yes, So you did the show in Portugal many times. You did it internationally as well.
No, we did it twice in English here.
But just to say that I agree with you. This show should be like seen by every other people that's not in Portugal. So there is a whole world that would enjoy this show, because this is a show for everyone. It's easy to understand. It's more. I would say that it is more like a screenplay, like a theater piece.
Yes.
Then magic comes second.
I don't think it's
Although
second.
It's a magic show.
I think it's a mix.
I think it's a. okay, it's hard to use this word because it's my project. So, but I think
they're fused together very well.
What is cool about it's really fused together, and I think you can say it's theater, you can say it's magic. It's everything together for real. And the theater gives life to the magic. It gives a reason for the magic, and that makes total sense. So the idea is, I truly believe that this show. And sometimes magicians have this ego thing. I can do this and I do this. It's not the case. I think it's so well written. It's so well thought, the details and everything, that I believe that a magician that knows the techniques, the basics, and the magician that have like this, that likes the idea to be an actor also, can do it and can have a lot of fun and impress any kind of audience with this. It works pretty unbelievable for families. Unbelievable.
Have you ever thought of doing a takeaway version of your show, like a smaller version of this one show?
The thing is, the word "smaller" makes me feel, I feel badly because I don't want to lose that thing. I don't want to actually. For many times, some countries want me to do this show abroad, more for Portuguese communities that are abroad, but we never could do it because of the costs of the production and to take it with us. But one day it will happen, I'm sure, and I'm doing some contacts.
Because you also have the problem of the venue. In order to present your show, you need a really good theater. I mean, medium to big size theater.
Usually, for example, in Portugal, we take a minimal 400 people seats.
Yes.
Because usually it's proportional to the stage and the backstage.
But not only that, you have the whole set, the whole lightning.
Yeah.
And so doing a smaller version would mean that you will be able to get this show abroad with fewer resources needed to
I have a formula, and I think, and I can say this also because it's the interesting thing about this project is that not even the magician needs to be famous to put these people on the place. Why? Because the actors can be. So imagine that you have like a cool name, or you are starting your name in your country, and you just get 2 actors, two performers that work with you that are already famous, so you can get people. So
yes.
I see. So immediately you can start with a venue with 500 or 1,000 seats, and we'll probably will succeed. So, and that's why we are trying now. Actually, in Spain, we are starting to try now to go there because it's easy. It's easy for us. We are in Portugal, so it's really close to us, and I think it's the nice step to put there the show. And not with me. I want another magician. There's a lot of Spanish magicians probably that could be on this. And that's the.
It's a great business idea as well. I like it. Before you continue, let's see a trick.
Yes, I was about to say
about the movie.
Not only big tricks, not only stage shows. You on your TV show, you also did some close-up bits. I mean, the whole show was about close-up street magic. But you also perform like regularly with in close-up venues. So not only stage shows,
more or less. Not now. In the last 4 or 5 years, I probably but last 3 at least. I'm not performing close-up anymore. But I like to do it for fun for fun. Imagine I finish a big show for a big company. Then I go out, I meet with people, they take pictures, and I still get I take my deck of cards and I show them something more. I like to
perhaps
do that.
you can show us.
Okay.
That was a link that I wanted to do.
Let's do it.
Card trick, is that it?
Yeah. Okay, it's something that it's not mine as I know now, but I start to do this. There's many magicians now using this, but I start doing this, and you know this, you know what I'm saying, because you remember me doing this since 15 years ago. Probably you were seeing me doing this every time. So usually I do this as an ending for an ambitious card routine. So you just you can take any card you want and you show it to the camera.
Okay, which camera is it?
Yeah, probably there. And then if you have a marker, we could have a marker, but I'm sure
we don't
believe.
Have a...
So it's signed. I will do my first version of this before I use it as an ending for the ambitious card routine. I will do it just like so. So the signature is there. Imagine. And I say, okay, let's lose the card inside. And now I will ask you to just drop the cards on top of the box. So just like this, all at the same time.
Like riffle?
Just drop it. Just
okay,
drop. Just
like
drop the
this.
deck. Yes. And because of the impact and because your card is a little bit heavier than the others, because of the ink, your card travels not to the top this time, of course. Okay, imagine that I was doing the other. I don't, no. Okay, okay, no. Sometimes, can you try it again? Once more? Yeah,
Maybe
just
higher?
maybe here. Yeah. No, it would be cool. Sometimes cards go a little bit deeper. Not there, but maybe. Sometimes they get stuck inside.
And it's the silent card, of course.
Silent card, of course, yes. No force, of course. Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, it's so. I mean, I know what happens, but still, it's beautifully done. You never fail it. No, you are not. You do it like
Not
100% every time.
99.99. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Sometimes,
amazing. It's really cool.
If I haven't drink anything,
So this would be your ending. I mean,
For an ambitious card routine,
usually,
or
for an ambitious card, I don't do it with this drop. I just do it. I just ask for the second signature, and now you are completely sure this card needs to be unique in the world. Okay, now you agree, of course, with this, and so I go again and I say, usually I say, let's do it in a very controlled situation. So I show it until the last minute with the signatures in the middle already. I put it there, and then I ask them to snap their fingers, but they always snap wrong timing, always,
Yes.
because they're not
not in sync.
yeah. So I say, oh, when that happens, it's not on the top. When that happens, sometimes the card gets a little bit confused, and they can travel to their origin. And the dramatic thing is, and it's not on top, and I say they can travel to their origin. And the tension is on the box, so it's like origin. And and now
It's a card to box.
It's a card to box.
Without,
Yeah.
Any
This is great. It's a great technique, I believe. I performed many years in all different environments, and I always did this 360. I can do it. You can protect yourself.
It's a little bit technical on the technical side. So
it's not easy. I tried a few times. It's not easy.
Because technically you put the card inside the box on one go.
Yeah.
And you need to like align.
Yeah, but there's a lot of details.
With practice.
Yeah. And there's a lot of details that help you to clean all these risks. It's not so hard as it looks. I think if you control, if you have the first technique, the TPC from Tamariz, I don't think it's so hard. I think it's something that magicians easily get afraid to do.
Of course.
But I'm not. You saw it. I did this live on TV more than 10 times or more than 15 times probably in different shows, different environments, live, different cameras everywhere, and I protect myself and I do it, and I'm.
And another trick that you did on TV was the movie. It was the first time I saw it was on TV. You did it on one of your TV shows. Can you do it for us as well?
Yes.
So it's a great.
That's also a trick that you released a few years ago.
I will do it without this.
So it's a commercial thing of yours.
It's a commercial effect, yes. Many magicians bought it. So I will show you the trick like I usually do it in parallel situations. So I have a music. Okay, I will not use the music now. But the thing is, the first art form to ever inspire me was cinema. It made me dream. I wanted to fly like Superman, to have William Tell's aim or Indiana Jones' courage. What I didn't know back then was that it had been a magician to have created the cinema we know today. The French magician Georges Méliès, because he was a magician and by a curious twist of fate, realized that the invention of the cinematograph could be used to tell stories. So he created the first film studio where he came to produce hundreds of fiction films, such as these ones that we are about to see. Maybe because he believed, like I do, that in cinema, just like in magic, everything is possible. So here I have a blank DVD, and I'd like you to sign this DVD where we could burn anything on a computer. Many time ago when I was young.
It's like piracy stuff.
Yeah, piracy stuff. But when I was young, this was pretty normal. And I would like you to not sign it here where people usually write, but on the back side. So you will just write your name all over here. Okay. I have a marker here. And you can just the first time in big bold letters. If you
my name.
Your name.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just, of course, it's like a card like this. You know, it's the only DVD in the world looking like so. And now here I have different movies that have influenced me. So tickets from different movies. Fight Club, Matrix, Godfather, The Incredibles, Jurassic Park, E.T., Skyfall, Star Wars, Titanic again. So all of this, and so the idea is now you can just touch one of the tickets. So I'll just put it like this.
Okay.
Just touch one.
Anyone. Okay.
Yeah, and you can take
choose.
it. Yes.
Can I take it?
Yeah. Okay.
Kill Bill.
Okay, Kill Bill. So you could have chosen any movie ticket. You have chosen Kill Bill.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be cool if now, and you can check, this is the same signature. You can check it there, and you can check it's your signature, right? So would it be cool if now we have here the original for Kill Bill, but I like to keep the original DVDs in their original case and Kill Bill.
It's so beautiful.
Nice.
Can clap. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, it's so visual. It's not, people are not expecting. I mean, so it's, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think I do a lot of, I did a lot of close-up before.
It's a beautiful creation.
Many years ago. And every time I usually finish with this. And it's not because it's my trick, because people don't care about it. So I really had the idea, in my mind, it was a trick in close-up situations that have more strength. So the impact is...
It's amazing. I mean, I love it. I mean, I really love it.
And of course, people can relate with movies. Everyone has his favorite movie. Everyone has, cried or while watching a movie, or if not, they would get more sentimental on the sentimental side. So I think it's a great trick to relate with the audience. You know?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah,
I think so too.
As this trick, your routines are. We are going to talk also about the magic minutes, because I love the show, as you know. I've seen it like 10 times. I mean, right? I think there was one week
joking.
where some I went for free because Mario is my friend, so I was there for free, which is nice. And I was taking notes, and it was good. So I really like the show because it's very, very well articulated. The routines are very well scripted. You also have some history stories in the routines that you create. So how do you create such scripts? I mean, because they are so well made, and basically you create a script and you memorize it, right? And then
yes, I think that's a very important thing.
You don't have like a earpiece telling you what.
No. I had in the first two shows, just by chance I could lose something or feel stressed or something, so I start using a earpiece in the beginning, just so my team could help me just in case. But I don't think we use it for. But about the scripting is I have help. I always find a team to do my things. I think that's the best advice I can give. I still believe many of the magicians are still working, just learning the tricks and then just go and show simply this to the audience and
just
see.
Take a card. This is your card. That's it.
Yeah,
you know?
and trying to. The thing is, it can work in close-up situations. I don't think it works on stage. And most of the times, what happens it's that you will never deliver the best script you can. So you just can deliver a very good script if you think word by word in your way what you would say about this. Which word is best? Which word tells more of what I want to say about it. So of course, there's always on magic situations, there's always this idea that because we interact sometimes with people and they have people on stage and we interact with them, that things can't be written, but they can, because we most of the situations are not predictable. So we use something that is predictable. The reaction is predictable, like a force, So I think. It's very, very important to write everything and then memorize it. And the idea is to do it like an actor. Like everything that an actor say on TV, it's script. And it works pretty well.
It makes everything much better, in my opinion. Because every word is thought out to create a certain emotion, to create some kind of misdirection, to create the engagement that is needed.
Yeah.
And I wish that more magicians did that. I'm honestly going to say I never did it. And if I did shows now, I will do it, because I think it's so important.
It's only way to bring the A game. It's only way to bring an A game. Of course, I had help. And for example, this last show, a good percentage of it was written by Leandro Morgado. That is, many magicians probably know him. He's a mentalist. He's from Portugal. He writes really good. And of course, for example, I have the idea of the main concept. Some of the acts already exist. So based on this, we start to see what we could fill in the gaps and make a show altogether. So just people can know a little bit. This last show is more a magician show, but also have a concept. So all the show speaks about perception and how it reflects how our perception is different because of the friends we have, where we have born, how we feel on that day, and all the magic comes like a metaphor to these aspects that creates this idea of perception. So we build our own world inside our minds, and that's the main thing. So everything should be based on this. For example, if I do the PK touch, and it's a commercial act, but I do the PK touch, and I do it in a different way because I talk about the connection between two people and how they see the world in two different ways, but how important it is to have a different perspective near of you. So when you talk about this and you create this level of energy and concept, you make much more believable that this energy communicates between them, even if they are blindfolded and seated in different places.
And you start to do very well because you start with some kind of fun. So let's see how well you'll know each other, and you give some whiteboards to them so they can try to guess. You make some questions right?
about their relation.
It's great
who sleeps more, who takes more time to leave home,
and it gets the people really into the act. So it's a very clever idea.
Thank you. I think it's just the thing is the most important thing is emotions and context. So for me, it's better if you do one magic thing with a great context, with a very beautiful in a very beautiful way, than to show a bunch of things but with no connection, with no logic, with no meaning. So that's my approach. I don't say the others can't work, or if they work for kids, or if I'm not sure. But in my world and in theaters, I love this. And you can still have jokes and funny things and more inspired things. Another thing it's very important is music. I still see many magicians using very commercial music, and you can't do that because if you use commercial music, you are putting people's minds on these emotions that these movies are in these movies actually. So if you're hearing Mission Impossible or Impossible Mission, I'm not sure how you say in English, Mission Impossible, I think. If you do it if you use this, people relate to Tom Cruise, and another thing is they relate this with a big production thing. Yes. Big production value. So you are competing with that.
Yes.
You are competing with that. So it's not a good idea to use very commercial music. It's good if you find these themes that work for you, but in kind of look new for them. Or if you can, and sometimes I do that, of course, I invite some composer to play my own things.
What do you think is the formula to create such great stage magic show? I mean, for example, you have moments with music. I know that you start with a kind of fast routine, just with one member of the audience in the stage, right?
On this show?
In the Magic Minutes, yes, I think.
Okay, yes.
Right? That's the first routine just for the camera?
Just the one with the card.
Yes.
For example, it's a good example of I start very small. The show starts very simple with low expectations.
So that's what is the formula if someone wants to reach that level of a stage show to create something that does not get the audience tired? Because one thing I've seen from all of your shows is that the audience attention is really up there, and I think that's not easy to do, especially nowadays.
Yes.
So do you have any formula for that?
I'm not sure if I can give you a formula, of course. It's very hard to, but I think a lot on this. Even on regular corporate events, I do last minute adjustments. I change the order of some effects, or I change an effect or something. Sometimes I call to my technician that is prepared for the show, and I just look to the curtain through the curtain.
You are his nightmare.
No, I'm not. Sometimes.
He's changing everything.
No, not changing everything. But the thing is, sometimes I will give you an example, and I learned this. I'm not sure if I learned this, but the first person I heard speaking about this, I think it was David Stone many years ago in a conference, and the idea is, if you do, for example, if you do want something, I do something crazy with somebody shoes. I asked him to take his shoes and I put his shoes on fire, then I make it vanish, then they appear in a box. So they reappear. And you can't do this to a big corporate event if you have these very serious persons, or if you do it in the first moment, you probably will not be perfectly okay with that. But if you start by doing something more, I will say, intellectual, something more deep, or more that you show that you have feelings, intelligence, or something like that. This is script, So you can make these options, and after you do this, you already establish this element of confidence with them. They know that you know what you're doing.
Need to align with your audience.
Exactly. They know what they know now. You know what you're doing. You are in control, and now you can dance on their tables, like I think David Stone would say.
Because in the end of the day, they are people as well.
Exactly.
So, people can go low.
Exactly.
They are maintaining some status because if it's a corporate show, they are like with their peers and all that. But in the end of the day, they are people. They are
regular
like
people.
We are. So it must work. This shoes trick.
Yeah. So it's always. I think you need to and then it's curious because I would say now you should put every time in their spectator's shoes and not shoes for the trick now. But I'm really about putting their perspective and see what they're feeling now. It's not what effect or what you think is strong. It's what they are feeling now. They're feeling you are this or that. Now they're feeling you are also funny, and now you think they're also this or that.
But that only comes with the experience, I think.
I think so. But I of course, you need to feel. It's hard to explain that. But I think you need to get what emotion this trick brings, and play with this, and change it, and show, and trying to understand how it works better. Of course, context. You said about people paying attention, and I think it's what context and things making sense gives.
With a good script,
of course. The script is always there, but it needs to make sense. The elements you go to get, how you get it. I think this is a good example. What I did this with the story. Of course, when I do in a straight close-up situation, I don't do it with the story. I just did the story because I knew we were talking about all these things about context, and now you can relate this, and you can feel that I bring context to the movie tricks and to this trick. And the context is the most important thing. If you start speaking about cinema, like you said, people relate. And if you give them something new that probably most of the people don't know, that Georges Méliès was a magician, and he was the first person to understand that cameras can do films, not just show you the reality, but can bring other layers. This was made by a magician. This is amazing.
That's also a story that they can afterwards tell to other people as well.
Exactly.
I think you are contributing to their knowledge.
Yes.
As a whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually there is a kind of a formula that I think it's possible to get. That it's a little bit my formula that I learned it, I believe, with Copperfield. David Copperfield was I would say my biggest reference for sure in all my magic, because I'm from 80, so we all get this, and because he's really good. And like you said a few days ago, what he did in 90s is still unbelievable today. Everything he said makes sense because the context is there, the elements are there, everything makes sense. There's no funny.
I think it helped shape nowadays magician as you, for example.
Totally.
Because you grew
totally.
you grew by watching his specials and all that. So I'm not saying that you copied him.
No, of course.
But
totally
somehow
inspired.
Totally inspired.
Bit
Totally.
by bit by his.
Totally inspired. I totally agree with you, Artur. It's and what I think is a formula, and if you can see this in the flying, in snowing, in the snow trick, and you can see this in a lot in David Copperfield, is to create first an emotional thing, and then give had some value on the curiosities or something that people wouldn't know about, like this thing with the Méliès. And then you bring the magic together with this, and so you make all these elements in one, and it makes.
You are making me think of the Carbonaro show, for example. It has a very curious approach where he shows the trick and then falsely explains how it works.
It's unbelievable. It's so clever.
That's also a different approach. I mean, you are contributing to the knowledge of the spectator, but you are doing it wrong in purpose.
Yeah.
So they think they know how it works, but if they think for a little longer, it doesn't
make sense.
So
yeah, but it's so
that's
funny.
Also a very nice approach. And I wanted to ask you a question because you talked about David Copperfield and how you love his illusions. What do you think is the worst trick
that they've done?
Yeah,
his worst trick.
Yeah, why not?
Probably one that he already said it by himself. I think when he flies over the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
I think even David Copperfield made jokes about this because it looks really awkward because everything looks set. Or
what about you? It's curious because today I was seeing some old footage of me and João, like when we are like 15 years younger doing magic, and it was like kind of hard to see because
very hard. Like this is really bad, you know.
Yeah. So if you look to your past in magic, what do you think? Was your
Well, I think the T-shirts from my first season. I remember
those.
I think, for example, why that happened. We wanted to shift for the idea that magician doesn't need to have black and all this style. So I need to change, and probably we changed too much. So I don't like the look I have. On the first shows more than the tricks itself, but I need to look for the tricks. Sometimes I'm afraid to look for them also and I need to do that now, but because of that, because sometimes we feel always that we should be doing.
But it's a nice exercise, you know.
It is. It's a great exercise.
It will help you to see how you your path you evolved and to foresee the future in terms of what do you want to look like 10 years from now.
Of course.
It's a good exercise. If you are watching this, also it's beneficial for you to record your magic, even though if it's not a stage show, if you're do magic at home, it's really a good
we
exercise.
See the TV show that you had many years ago. I take a look at it. I'm glad it's not on YouTube because it's so bad.
At the time
it was great.
It was great. Yes.
At the time,
even the clothing and the haircuts and all that. It was.
But it's an evolution. Everyone, you know. I think it's nice that we see it that way because it means we know. Some people say, "Oh, what I did before it was great." No, everyone. It's an evolution.
But I think this can happen every time. Even now in my shows, and the things are very well.
Articulated very well.
Not just me, but my team. You know, I have a 7 or 8 people team. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing. But every time we finish a show, we speak for some minutes or a few hours after they put everything together again. We speak, and there's always something that you can add on the next show. There's always something you need to learn from each show, and that's the only way to go. Always. Getting better and better.
If you can do that exercise at the end of each show, like group the team and discuss 5 minutes, no more than that. What went well, what went wrong, what could be better. It's a good exercise to actually evolve the show.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one other thing. So you have this Magic Minutes show, stage show right now, live show, that's derived from the TV show.
Actually, the idea. Sorry, finish.
I just want to touch one point that in the TV show you also had this concept of stunts.
In the last season.
Yes.
It was Magic Minutes. In Portuguese, it's Minutos Mágicos. challenges. If I translate
Okay.
it, challenges. Edition.
So in each episode, you would do a stunt. You will be like talking a little in detail, but you also do that in your live shows. Live show. I mean, in this show, and you do it in one final.
I do the water tank for real.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and I want you to talk a little bit more about that experience. And if you want to go in detail about that.
Okay.
It went wrong one day. Actually,
One
I
day.
was there.
Yeah, you was there.
I was
You
there.
were
And,
there.
I mean, I was really scared because you passed out for a few moments.
I passed out, so I was doing my apnea. I think it's how you said it. So I was not breathing. 2 minutes and a half, I think, and I lost my conscience. So the emergency, my team immediately, they had the other keys. They opened the tank and they took me out. It was pretty quick, and of course, it's danger. This shouldn't happen, but I'm not sure why it happened. In my training, I can go and to the 4 minutes without oxygen, so I just do it with air. That's very important. I can do like 8 with oxygen, so it's different. So what happened? I'm not sure. Probably I didn't eat very well before the show. We were in a rush because things in theater were not. I don't know. We had some problems, so the team was running, so we didn't eat properly, and
You were very tired, probably.
I'm not sure. I don't know what was the reason. I never passed. I never have passed out before in my life with any other way.
But I remember you successfully ended the show after that. Only a good magician can, walk away from this situation and I mean.
I understand what you mean. I think I had some luck also because I could get my conscience and by a brief moment I didn't knew what happened. But when I saw my team, the different position, and I see the movement, and then the curtains start to close, I immediately understood what happened. And I said, don't close the curtain, don't close the curtain. So this was the last moment, as you know. So it was... And the idea of this part of the show, specifically in the end, is to talk about the idea of overcome things like that. So in a way, I didn't did it, but in another way, people know it's real now.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, exactly.
So people know it's real. People understand that this can happen. And the funny thing was, and some people start to think it was a stunt for selling tickets, but the truth is it wasn't, of course. But
it will be a good idea.
But
because
the truth is it was the day
more.
we sold more. Not that day because
I remember
2 days
you did a
after
show,
that.
And appeared in all the news across
day.
Portugal, everywhere. The
It
TV,
came on the news,
newspapers, everywhere.
And
Everyone was talking
But you
about
learn from your mistakes. I mean, the same way you said before that you would group your team and talk about what went wrong, etc., etc. It served you as
as a lesson.
As a lesson that we are human.
Yeah.
You know?
I can say that to you that now, and I'm
And you still do it.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. And the hardest day to do it was the day after that one. I had another show, and next week a few shows more. So that was the hardest thing to do. My parents, my wife, everyone wanted me to change the trick, but all the team of the show reflects this for the end. That doesn't make sense to change it. It's not possible to change. But I will do a card trick now.
Because in the beginning of the show, you also link this to the end because there is some keys that the audience will.
They try
some
when they're arriving to the
box.
theater, they start taking keys and experiment them, and they take.
So
the
it
keys
doesn't make sense to change the trick at all.
Yeah, you need to change a lot of stuff here to.
But I would imagine that you, in the next days, weeks, months, you would feel like a little bit on your mind.
What I did is that I start talking with many people, apnea champions, guys that are really top on this, and I start to speak with them and see if there is something that I could suffer in the next day just because of the accident in the
Also
day
that.
before, you know. So I was worried with that, especially first with that, then just to try to relax after what happened.
Okay.
And now I never like to do it anymore. Actually, even before, I don't like to do it. I like the idea and the experiment, the experience I bring to the audience. But it's a very hard thing to do every shows. I think all the magicians that do this kind of effects, I'm sure they don't love to do it. I'm not sure, but I'd love to know from them, because I really feel, you know, sometimes the show it's so well, you're feeling everything so well, but in the back of your mind, there's always a voice saying, "You are going to the tank.
Yes?
You are going to the tank again. You need to do this again. You will need to suffer, because to get on this 3 minutes or something, you need to suffer for some moments. Really suffer. You need to
Really?
to your body wants to breathe, and you need to say don't
Wait
breathe,
a little bit.
Wait a little bit more, longer and longer and longer. I use I think it's more psychology. It's more like yoga and psychology and things that make you good, make a good time than practice. But it's both
it
together.
makes you feel accomplished in delivering the show.
Yeah.
Because then you end the show and it's you feel accomplished.
Yeah. Yes. I think
that task.
Yeah, I always like that idea also, that bringing something real. And this show, it's a little bit of that. This show brings a lot of tricks. Actually, I always when I was thinking on a name, that then I heard that David Blaine.
David Blaine.
Sorry, that David Blaine have this name, that it's real or magic. I fought on this name for my show, because the idea of we have a lot of magic effects that looks possible. They are on the limits of the reality, between reality and fiction. So they live here, and I love the emotion this can create in the audience, because they think it's on this case I'm really not breathing, so it's real in some points. Of course, it's not real in everything, because I can control in some way when I go out from there. But the thing is, I can pass.
Of course.
Yeah. So there's all these things, and I like this concept. I think it's also something that works very well when the audience thinks things are in the limits. Maybe they're real, maybe they don't, and they don't know what to think. If you practice this until the highest limit, or if you just are using some kind of magic or trick. So
aren't you afraid that your audience might replicate what you've seen?
Sometimes I have kids, because I have families in the room. I always say in some point on the show, okay, do not do this at home, blah, blah, blah.
Only at school?
Only at school.
It's the disclaimer, the legal.
That's good, yeah. So I don't think they will do it, because if you do this in your own home, in your bathtub or something, the reflection of going to breathe, it's so natural that you immediately take your
exactly.
The trick ends right there.
When you feel the urge to breathe, you are going to breathe.
Takes just a few seconds.
Unless you close a cage or something, and you can't really.
Wanted to ask you another question regarding your shows. So your specifically about your audience. So do you think that your audience is more demanding because of all the magic that they see nowadays in YouTube and other social media? And also, you were a little bit the in Portugal. I mean, you had these TV shows, so it's not social media, no, it's not YouTube, but you showed magic on TV, and I know that you always played fair.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in social media, especially on YouTube. So do you think that your audience is more like demanding to see good things live? I mean, when I say good things, I say like
miracles,
most impossible things live, and then they don't see it as they see it on YouTube?
No, actually, I don't feel that at all. I think I feel from the audience the exact opposite. I feel that people, and they say me this a lot, they sometimes it's a first show they're seeing live with magic, and sometimes it's not, but I always hear
good things,
very good things. They really get crazy about what a magic experience is. I don't think on television, you can make cars fly and levitate and disappear in the air. They will still, if you deliver something that it's controlled, that it's very well, that it's well written, that it's very well presented, that everything is there, the lights, the sound, everything making sense. Because when they see the shows on their living room, they're with the TV, and there's a baby crying, there is someone in the kitchen, there is people moving. They're never on this atmosphere. There's really rare to have this atmosphere. That's why people from cinema also don't like the TV, the platforms. The platforms, yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. When they go to a theater, they feel. But that's very important for me, and I think it's something that many magicians are working with it now. But I still think there's many magicians that should work a little bit more on the rest. Not only one thing is the magic. But you can't have the magic without the lights and the sound making sense. The
whole atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't say everyone can create a big stage and big lights but sometimes with small details you can create this atmosphere. You just need to pay attention and speak with someone that can help you on these subjects. And I think everything needs to be balanced. It's like a singer with a bad guitar on the backs, or bad, if you it will damage the entire thing. You can see a good movie, and if something is not working, it's a good actor. The movie is good, the story is good, but the actors are not. You don't feel engaged.
Yes.
So everything needs to go on and make sense on this. And for me, that's one of the things I since very young, I start to feel this and understand this. And I'm not saying I did it every time right. Of course not. Even now, I still can improve. So I'm just calling attention that work on your magic, but think on the rest. Your presentation, your lights, your sound, everything. It's very important. And now on these days, it's so easy to get someone that knows about all these things, and just
of course,
just have a conversation with these guys, or just pay them for one day to put some ideas on the table. I don't know if you don't have money to produce like you should, but it's still possible to do it with much less money and lower resources, but it's possible because sometimes people give the excuse, I don't have this or I don't have that.
But I think the main things, and that's what makes an experienced magician, good magician, is that you need to feel the need. I mean, you need to know that you need a director. You need to know that you need a light technician, a sound technician, a composer.
You can do it all. Yeah.
Because when you are young, you think that you can do it all. I mean, you think that you don't need a light technician. Why? Because why do I need that?
And the sound technician, it's the most important thing you need to have. It needs to be your sound technician, because if the music plays in the wrong moment, it spoils it all. It spoils it all.
You are very making a lot of people angry. That people that do their own.
They push the buttons themselves to play the music.
Do their own audio.
No, they change
when they are performing. So there is systems.
I know.
You can,
I know, and I think it's better than if you just go to a place and say the guy, okay, when I do this, you put this music. When I do this,
because
I think it's better. It will fail
because you know the show.
This guy will fail a lot of times more.
But I've done this. But it's.
But I'm not against that. Yeah,
it's such complex on the mental level that you need to focus on your routines. You need to you need to be aware of your timings and etc. And also the timings of the music. So it's. Yeah, it's it's doable. But
when I heard someone that do that and do it well, I just clapped, because I think I couldn't do this, because it's so many things to be worried about that if I was worried about that, I'm not. My brain would
collapse. With the AI, we can have such like a video stream, and then from there we have like a queue, or and let AI decide based on your inputs, of course, to decide the timing for that sound, that music.
But this is so important.
It's an idea. I mean,
it's so important to have all this in control and to know what you're. There was something, but I don't know. I forgot.
So let me ask you this: music is an art form, right? As theater and magic. So why do you think do we have a college degree, for example, in theater and in music, But in magic, that does not happen. I think in South Korea, I think they have their.
They had. I don't think they had it. They have it now.
No, okay.
I don't think they had an university. I think, but I'm not sure. But yeah, they had
not enough.
Why do you think
students.
this is?
No, I just think that someone needs to start with that and make it happen. It's maybe because the number of people that are interested in magic is not the same that are interested in dance or music, or I'm not sure why. I think we have a lot of people that loves magic when they are like 11, 12, but like they start with 11 and 12 playing football and soccer or whatever.
But then they change.
And probably because they don't feel support. Because in football, you go to a team and you start playing football or soccer or whatever, or tennis or whatever, and you have all these elements that you have competitions, you have this or that. If you start doing magic and you don't feel this community, I think community is very important. And now I remember what I was saying when we were. I think this puts everything together. I think magicians need to see everything they can in terms of magic, but not only magic. They need to see cinema,
other art forms as well.
Other art forms as well, because
they will inspired.
They will be inspired for that. It's very rare that I go to see any kind of show, a theater play, whatever, and I don't take notes for my magic from something I get there. I understand how they, and sometimes even if you see the show one more than once, so you can start to understand how they bring this element, or they bring this, or how they make you feel this, because in the second time you are already aware of what's about to happening. So maybe you can anticipate and see, oh, they put this light there, they put everything black there, and they call attention just for that. And that's very important, because that makes all the difference in terms of perception. Perception, it's everything. Perception, it's everything we have. We need to play with their perception.
Yes.
We need to build. Magic is about that. That's why we have misdirection and all these kind of techniques to. We have misdirection, but misdirection we see as a thing that wants to shift their attention or something. But actually, I think it's more important to control the audience to see, not for what they have to see, than for what they don't need or they shouldn't see. So I think it's
just
important.
Came to my mind that one video. Not sure if you've seen this. It's AI. So it's this Google's. I don't know the name. It's Bard or Gemini. I don't know. This is the Google's AI, and on the demo video, they had this table and they played the ball and cup game, and
3 cups, 1 ball.
Yes. And AI was able to tell in which cup. So perception, but it's getting more difficult nowadays to control the perception.
I think it's harder to call the attention of the audience. For example, corporate events. I don't like it, but I still do. I do this effect. I don't do it in my show. I don't need to do it because people are there. They pay the ticket to see the show. But when you're working for corporate events, for example, I do this not because of the trick itself, but just to make them put their phones away. And start to understand they need to align with you, and sometimes they change their position on the tables to look on stage so they can follow your steps.
That's a good idea.
So they understand immediately that they're supposed to
engage with you.
To engage with you. So just for example, some people on my team don't like the trick, but I still do it because I feel I get control.
It's not for the effect. It's for
I get control from that. And this is a tip that you can use for not especially with this. You can do some other thing, but to get attention, to put their phones away.
It's actually very
with their phones on their hands,
and
with a glass on their hands, they can't clap. With a phone on their hands, they can't clap. So we need to think this. This also reminds me something that I think it's important. I did close up for many years, as you know, and now stage, of course, and before both things. One of the things we need to do is trying to control the max of things we can, and it's hard. Sometimes, for example, if you are going to do a close-up situation, you need to speak with the person that controls the service, the people that are serving, and tell them, in a very educated way, you can manipulate this. You can control this. You can say to them, I will be aware of when you're serving, so I will not go into a table where you just put a plate on there in front of them. So I will respect you, but please respect me too. And I will not do, and don't go on the table just to put water or wine or something if I'm performing on this table. This is trying to get control from, because every time someone interacts to put something on the table, they cut they are cutting the attention.
We had, I mean, this all sorts of experiences.
Exactly.
In weddings, corporate shows.
Yeah.
So you get the waiters to pass in front of you.
Stage shows, for example. Look
happening?
at this. I was looking. A friend of us, I will not say who was. He was performing in a hotel, and he was about to start the show, and I was on the audience, and I started to see too much light in the room and so small light on him, and I went to the bar to say, please, just put all these lights off. Put all these lights off because he needs to have the light and we can't be on these lights. So light, for example, it's so important. And sometimes just a small light on you and no lights on the room.
Yes,
you need to have, you just get into a room and see what kind of lights they have. What should we turn on or off when I was going to start the show? These are very simple things, even without a big production. But I have, of course, a team and I have a lot of projectors and I control all these things. But even with me, sometimes, and with all this team, sometimes it's me I'm worried with that. Sometimes I ask my team, do you already know where you can put these lights off? So when the show starts, you can control everything and not just our lights.
Of course.
So this is very important. I think
that's one of the main reasons I quit doing stage shows in small venues. I mean, I don't do big venues as you do, but I will only do like stage shows if there is a portable stage and a good line of sight, because most of the times, like 90% of the times that you go to a venue, like a wedding, for example, to do a stage show, you'll get a pillar in front of you or whatever. You don't get to control the lights as you wish. And even if you have like stage lighting, and of course, because it's a small venue, you cannot bring your whole arsenal, so you only get like 3 or 4 spotlights. But even that, it's not enough, and that's why I decided not to do any more like stage on small venues, because the conditions are not ideal like 90% of the times, and then you will suffer from that, because people will not be able to see you perform, will not be able to listen to you,
and in the end you were the bad guy.
Yes,
in the end
people don't applaud, don't get the moment where the magic happens, because there is sometimes that they cannot even see your hands because there is because you are too low, they are too high, I don't know. Yeah, so you will be the bad guy at the end.
I think some of those questions should be on a list, and maybe sometimes speaking with the clients, someone or you or yourself should check these lists.
Ideally, yes.
I know it's hard. I know sometimes it's not possible. I know if your income it's not high enough, so you can bring everything on your team and everything. But at the same time, I still think there's a lot of things we can control if we start to trying to control them.
Agree.
Before, for example,
you want to be picky on things.
For example, they say, we have a stage. That's not enough. What kind of stage? How many meters have the stage? How high is the stage? Usually for magic, you need to put. I would talk in centimeters, but okay, it's like 20 centimeters plus.
Minimum.
No. On top of what they think. For example, if they have a 40 centimeters stage, you probably will need 60 for the magic. Okay. Why? Because for someone that is going to talk, someone that is going to do stand-up magic, someone that is going to sing, they just need to see their heads. They just see this.
Yeah, I agree.
For magic is different.
For magic, you need a little bit more. Sometimes when someone sit on you or with you on stage, sometimes you are doing something waist level. So you need this. This is a very simple concept, but 20
But you will make a lot
more.
of people annoyed if you start demanding too much, depending on the venue.
Of course, depending of the venue,
it's
and
like-
sometimes depending of the way also you try to, because you need to make people. Sometimes I talk about these concepts that we are talking here for magicians, but sometimes I talk about some of these concepts to lay people, to not me, but my team, or sometimes if I get into the meeting, because sometimes I also meet with them before because of other things, I start to pinch them about these teams, and I start to explain them why it needs to be like this, why it needs to be. And you can say, imagine you have this video, you see a person sit with me on stage, so with a 40 centimeters stage, they will not see anything. And if, of course, then you need to understand, of course, the place, the room. If it's too deep, you need to go higher.
Sure. And from my experience, people often collaborate when you explain to them. People often agree with you and collaborate, but then the problem is after. It's when they pass your demands to the technical team. It's when things starts to
sometimes
not be as you would like to be.
Sometimes.
But
Okay,
that's-
I'm just saying this because I know many people are struggling to do good stage shows. I know I struggle with this for a long time. But I built, my father drew me my first stage that I still rent for corporate events. I did it with, I don't know, I was like 17
I know the stages.
or 18 years old. The same wood boards, the same metal. My father just draw the way they should.
It's a heavy duty one. I mean, it does not pack really small. I mean,
No, it doesn't pack small.
you
It's
need a-
true.
yeah, but
with
it's really good,
But
but
with
it's-
I don't know, how to
truck
explain it, a
and-
truck or a big, but a small. Doesn't need to be a big truck. It depends
Yes,
of the
yes,
stage
yes.
we're about
Of
to.
course.
I have the thing is, it's 1 meter per each unit. It's 1 per 1 meter.
Have you
So I
ever,
can even with the other day I was on a very small restaurant for like a private special party, very rich people, but the restaurant was very, very small. So my stage was size of this table. And I never did this, but I adapt. I just get there. Okay, I put my stage there. It was not possible to put nothing bigger than this. But okay, the elements are going to come in from here. My assistant takes the things and put them on stage, and we could deliver it. We could deliver it in a stage just like this table. So
of course, you also need to adapt.
it's a don't let it go before it really needs to be.
Have
to,
you ever
to go.
performed on? I certainly don't. Have you ever performed on those like spider stages?
I have a lot. No, I never put my
Because
feet.
that's
in
not
the
industry standard. I mean, that looks good for a person or two or three. But for example, when I say it's not industry standards, that you cannot put a whole band on those stages because I don't think they are like stable enough. I mean, wibbling and all that. So I was asking if you ever.
I never try it. I use a
tried
lot of spiders from Spider
For the backdrop.
for the backdrop. Not always. For example, if it's a big production, I don't use the spiders as a backdrop. I use them for create my own space.
your own.
That's very clever.
Yeah.
I saw it and that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I wish when I did shows that I did that. I mean,
Yeah, it's so
because you are
simple.
sometimes at the wedding, for example,
Yeah.
and
You
you
don't
are
have privacy.
you don't have privacy, and you want to rest a little and prepare your magic. And with a spider, you'll do like a square, and you're there.
Sometimes even
And
to dress. Sometimes they give me a place to change.
It's a
go
genius
there,
idea.
and
It's-
sometimes I ask them, okay, give me a place to change and everything. And sometimes they give me very good conditions. But sometimes
Far
it's
away.
so far away that I say, no, this is my place. I'm surrounded with this. It's no problem.
You can
It's-
sleep in there. If you
I
want.
can sleep in there. No, really. Sometimes I'm working, or sometimes I pass my
You
time
have your
there.
privacy. No one is looking at you.
Yeah.
You are resting, and it's a great idea.
So I have a lot of spiders. I can do a lot of and even I sometimes I create, for example,
For
a
people that know,
backdrop.
spiders are not real animals. It's like a structure,
yeah,
right?
spiders,
A curtains.
Yeah, I think most of the people.
I
here,
don't know.
I'm
I'm
not sure.
just saying that
It's just a structure, aluminum
Aluminum,
that holds a backdrop.
it's like a pop-up thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
small and
Very
plays,
practical. So I still use them. Of course, I don't use it in big theaters on these things. Of course, it doesn't make sense for me. But on small stage for 100 people, 150. Last week I did it. For example, I use it, and I create a very nice thing. And I close everything I needed. I have my own thing, and nobody can see your props and mix.
It really is a great idea.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was so for magicians, they want to contact you, especially about the idea that you had, which was really great. If they want to do your out of this world show in their own country, for example,
Exactly.
how can they contact you? It's
just go through my website, mariodaniel.com. You have or Facebook or Instagram and Mario Daniel official. You can just drop me a message or info@mariodaniel.com, and we will answer you for sure. And let me know if you need other things. And I love to speak with magicians and change ideas. So
of course, that's it.
Thank you so much also for the invitation. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure for us. Thanks so much. See you guys next time.
See you.